Hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a really good week this week. So this week what's popping and dropping is a bench pop-up card, and this is just our little demo card for demonstration purposes. So if you would like, we can go ahead and head over to Design Space and I'll show you everything that you're going to get in this card. So I'll meet you over there. Okay, guys, here we are in Design Space. When you open the file up, it's going to look something like this. These are all the pieces that you're going to get in the file. This font that I will be using this week is called B as in boy, Frank as in F, C as in Charlie, Hello Flower. If you would like to use the same font that I'm using, if you would like to add any additional pieces to your file, go ahead and do that. Don't forget to go up and name and save your project. And if you'd like, we can go ahead and get all of our pieces cut out and I'll meet you at the craft table and we can put this together. I'll see you there. Okay, guys, now that we are back at the craft table, why don't we get out base, our card base, and our paper we're going to put on our front and back, our pretty paper. So the first thing we can do, if you would like, we can go ahead and work our score line on our card base. And the two pieces that are just squares, rectangles, they are going to go on the outside of our card. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so once we have the front of our card done, we can go ahead and open it up to the inside of our card. And these pieces, this one is going to go down like so. So it will face towards us on this bottom portion. And I'm going to leave just a smidge of a section between the score line and my white piece. And then this piece will go on our card like so. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave just a little bit of a section before that score line. So it's not very much. And that's just a preference. You don't have to, you can move this up if you want or down. So let's go ahead and glue these pieces on. And now we have our little snowfield. Isn't that cute? All right, so we have this all done. What we can do is go ahead and get our bench out. And also, there are little red pieces in the file that look like this if you want to put something on your bench. Okay, guys, so to work our bench, the first thing we can do is work our little legs here. There's 4 tabs, one on each leg at each end, and you can just put your thumbnail in it and work it, but all of these will end up being mountain folds. So let's do that. So once we have all these worked, the back should look like that, where we have them all folded down to mountain folds. And then what we can work is our middle score line, and that score line goes all the way across our bench. So we can work that. So now we should have something that's looking like that. Now the easiest thing that I find to do is take my pointer fingers, and we want to push our arms back up. So if you can slide them in like so. Okay. And then what we can do is we have a score line here. We just can take our thumbs and then give that a pinch to pivot that bench seat up. See how now it's up? And then just work your fingers all the way down until that cut line right there. And we're just going to give it a pinch. And then you can come to the center here and then give that center a pinch. And then we have pretty much all of it worked. So just keep folding it now until our bench is all folded up. So everything should be folded down like so, like a little sandwich. And then we can open it back up. And when we open it, we have our cute little bench here. Now for these extenders, if we're going to put something on our bench, there's 3 score lines on each of those. And we have a long one and a shorter one. And you can use as many as you want on your bench. But they all will end up being mountain folds when you work this. Now, the end that has the 2 score lines closest together, and that end tab is what we will glue to this piece of our bench right here. So you'll put a little glue on this end down here, and then I'm turning this over to the back and I'm going to lay it flat. And then we're just going to take that tab and fold it right over on to our bar right there of our bench. So on the back, you should have something looking like that, if you can see that right there. And then on the front, it will look like this. Now, when this lays flat, that score line, the very last score line, is where we need to fold that tab under and glue it to whichever bar on our bench that it lines up with. So you can see that, you can see our score line ends right there on our bar here. So you just fold that to the back. So if you turn it over, you can see that little tab right there. We're going to put a little glue on that tab and then fold it to that bar. So we should have something ending up looking like that with our 2 little tabs there. And then when we go to set it up, you can see how that bar works. So there we have it. Our bench on our card, we're going to lay it all flat. And we want our score line that's in the center of our bench to line up with the score line of our card base. And then once we have that lined up, we just want to center this in our score line. And we don't want too much on this side or too much on this side. Or if you don't want to center, you don't have to. And then once we have it centered, we're going to put a little glue on those tabs at the top. And then we're just going to take and fold that under. And then the same thing on the bottom. And then when we start to close it, everything should be lining up and closing nicely. And then we just want to give it a good rub down. And then when we open it up, we have our bench seat here. I'm going to put it this way so you can see. We can decorate our card. And I'm just going to take a little glue and put it on this part right here. And I'm not going to use this one because I glued these on backwards. So my intent for this one was to put the gift on it. But since I messed it up and I don't want to fool around with it again, I'm just going to glue my little doggy onto the bench like so with my gift on him. Okay. If I would have used this back here, the gift would have sat behind him and I didn't want that. So I'm going to put a little glue on my tab. So there we have it. We have our little doggy on our bench. Isn't that cute? So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my card, and I'll be back to show you what I came up with. I'll see you in just a sec. My finished card, it says hello friend, and then we open it up and we have a doggy sitting on the bench with some presents, and then I just did a little bit of snow over here, and there's a couple of different ones of these in the files if you want to use it. And then we got the cute little bow on the back of the bench, and then we have the wreaths back here, and it says just sitting here thinking of you. And then on the back, we have a place where we can write a message. And I just did some leftover snowflakes that I had. So overall, guys, I think this turned out pretty cute. We could do a lot of cool things with this bench. Do you guys know what did the bench say to the garden? You really know how to grow on me. Guys, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me. Don't forget to stop by next week to see what's popping and dropping. Bye.